My name is Bill Burns, and I've been working on this project called the Dogs and Boats and Airplanes Choir. The project that we did with Nuit Blanche in the Atrium Bay, which is a very bright space, but it has a cathedral structure. All the sounds had to be of dogs and boats and airplanes. There were 32 children involved trying to tell a kind of a loose narrative. So the sound really traveled, had a lot of latitude. I engaged a friend, Alan Gasser, who's a well-known choral director in Toronto. And Alan was really good at developing the kind of the sounds that we needed to work with. You really got a sense that it was moving around in that building, so that was great. The kids were very completely engaged in that process, and were really came up with great ideas that really moved it forward. And there are two schools. One was Howard Park in Toronto, and the other one was Lord Lansdowne School, in collaboration with the children. Figuring out a lexicon of sounds without really having words, a way of kind of coming back to them again. I have a particular interest in animals and how we work with animals and how we live with animals in our world. And I think that would be a great loss culturally and artistically, to imagine our cinema and our books and our music to only have a kind of vocabulary of either lost animals or rats and Atlantic salmon and cockroaches. Our connection with animals is really important on many levels. When we finally recorded it, we had a single mic, plus we had dispersed. We had about 8 mics in the room as well, so we could grab different kinds of parts. We would have a group of like 4 people doing a kind of a motor sound, like a grrr. And then over here we'd have more of maybe we'd have like a single put kind of group. I always like to bring a kind of an absurdity into a project. Sheetal Lodhia was the production manager. My girlfriend Chris Verrill is also a producer on the project, as well as all the choir members. Working with the children has been super fun, and also taken me in many different directions that I didn't imagine. It makes kind of a slow art. The world is a very fast world, so I think the idea that we have to slow down and make slow art was enriching for me. We kind of have a kind of way of looking at the world where consciousness is solid, and we have to work within that solid form. And it's really something that I like to try and break down, and that's where I bring in the absurdity. But the children that were hearing it, and it was the night of Nuit Blanche, so there's lots of people on the street. The children were like, Mom, I want to hear that. That's one of me, and they could really pick up that it was like children doing something unusual. And that was something I didn't expect, but so that was great. Partly from electronic sound to a live acoustic sound, those kind of things. I find the challenge I like, and so taking animal and machine sounds and trying to recreate them in human voice was a kind of a challenge. Some of the kids in the first instance actually brought dogs to school on one of the days, and we kind of listened to what they did. When we got to the recording studio, there was like fantastic energy and beautiful sounds, and really like the people were super enthusiastic about it. With a project like this especially, you really have to slow down and step back and listen to. You have to listen to what the children are saying. In many ways, you have to listen and figure out what's going on with them. So for me, like to make sure that they are part of the project, to make sure that they are really driving the project. The passion for this project, all of it comes from the kids.